Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm back at it, doing makeup in a random location. Today, of all places, I'm sitting in a McDonald's and the background is actually quite pretty. I love the wall behind me. I crammed all my makeup into this tiny little box so that it can fit in my bag and I don't have to carry too much to the mall with me. And then I'm just gonna do my makeup and pretend it's as normal as eating fast food in the McDonald's the way you should. I already applied my primer to my face before I left the house so that I didn't have to carry the big bottle with me. So when I got there, I just applied the foundation straight to my face and started buffing it out with my foundation brush. Now, I didn't think of bringing a mirror this time and I forgot about it, and I didn't have my Carly Bible palette with me, which has a mirror in it, so I was stuck using my LA Girl Pro Face powder because it has a mirror in it. Now, after blending out my foundation, I went in with my damp beauty blender, which I also wetted before I left home, and used it to blend everything in and to make sure it was smooth. Now, for those of you that are not aware why I am doing this, I'm in the process of moving and I don't have furniture in my place yet, and I definitely don't have a filming place set up yet, and I'm kind of in between staying at my mom's and staying in my new place to try and get everything done. So filming's difficult, but I don't want to just stop. I still want to have something to do. So I decided to start filming in random locations and to make it a challenge. It is a lot more fun than it looks. I really enjoy it, even though I will continuously be complaining about how awkward it is to have people look at you. But I'm enjoying it, so this is why I did it again in McDonald's this time, because McDonald's has great lighting, surprisingly so, compared to the train where the lighting was moving the whole time. If you didn't see my previous video, I also did my makeup on a very shaky and bumpy train ride all the way home. So if you want to see that, I will have it linked down below for you as well. But here, after applying my concealer and blending it out with my beauty blender, I'm taking a hell of a lot of powder and I'm applying it all over my face to set everything. I've recently been using more and more setting powder and I kind of like the airbrushed look it gives you. So I'm applying it all over my face before moving on to blush. Again, I'm using this pale pink blush because it's the only one I have at the moment. I threw out my big palette with the blush colors, so I'm using this one and just dusting the blush onto my cheeks with this pretty white brush from Wet n Wild. For how affordable they are, they're actually quite great. And then just to make sure it's blended, even though you can barely see it, I bounced my beauty blender over it. For my eyebrows, I'm going to use this NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and I've recently been back into using pencils for eyebrows as opposed to powders. I got this pencil about a year ago and at some point it was all I used, and then I kind of forgot how to use it because I got lazy and I started just using powders instead, and powders are so much faster because if you don't do it precisely, it doesn't look that messed up as opposed to using a pencil and making a line entirely in the wrong direction. But a pencil packs easier than a bunch of powders, so I've been using the pencil and it's actually quite nice. You can get your brows quite defined, especially the front part. At some point I'll try mixing them together and see if maybe that works even better, but that's something for another day. For my waterline, I'm applying the silver one right into my waterline to make my eyes look open and rounder. And I've been doing this before applying mascara, otherwise it catches on the bottom of your lashes a bit, and then you have these silver pieces where the mascara should be black and it looks funky. I don't know if you can relate, but that's why I've been doing it first. And then for eyeshadow, I'm starting with this orange color from my Wet n Wild palette, which is small and compact and perfect to travel with. This look that I'm doing now is the same one I did on New Year's Eve this year. I'll link the picture for you down below if you want to see what I looked like on that night, or you can just watch till the end of the video and then see what I look like. Same difference, I just wore a better outfit for New Year's. But this is what I'm doing here. I'm blending the orange color properly into my crease, and why I'm using this palette specifically is it's so small and compact and perfect to travel with that is the best one to take with me. So I will be using it a lot, and I do love the colors in it. It's quite great to work with. I tried using as much of them as possible in this look because when I first did it, it was the first time using the palette and I wanted to play with all of them in one go. So it starts pretty light and then ends up pretty dark. I'm using a flat shader brush to apply the same orange color underneath my lash line and to drag it out into the cat eye shape because I want my eyeshadow to shape the cat eye as well as my eyeliner. To help the orange blend, I'm picking up that cool tone transition shade at the very top of this palette and I'm blending it right above the orange. And then I'm taking the color underneath the orange, which is like a warm toned brown, and I'm working it right into my crease. I'm first kind of lying down the color and then I'm going to blend it upwards. Now if you see me holding the palette in an awkward skew way low, kind of by my chest, not entirely in front of the camera, that would be because on the other side there's people as well. And of course I don't want to sit with people behind me so that they're on screen. I feel like I kind of need to ask your permission if you're going to be on screen. So I want to sit in a way where there's as little as possible people behind me, which means as much as possible people would be in front of me. And I don't want them to realize I'm working with a camera because I had my laptop in front of me and then I had my camera balanced against the laptop. So you couldn't see it, right? Unless you were like really looking at what I was doing. I didn't want to show the palette because then I would awkwardly be showing my palette to my laptop and people would be like, what is this chick doing? Is she pretending to Skype someone? Is she really Skyping someone while showing them how to do her makeup? That's the only logical fake explanation I could come up with while I was applying this reddish tone all over my lids. So me being awkward in that sense is me trying to not look as awkward to the people around me. And of course, for the little bit of makeup information you're going to get in between all of this, whatever you do at the top, you have to mirror to some extent on the lower lash line so that everything connects properly. And you have to make sure everything blends. In this look, because I used so many different colors, but I wanted it to be one unit, there's a lot of blending involved. Next, I picked up dark brown for, I'm sure you can guess it, some little more dimension in the outer V, so I'm packing on the color there and only blending it out in that area. I kept going back and forth between colors until I was happy with what it looked like, while smiling at people coming past, because what else are you supposed to do if someone's looking at you? Like, the people would come by and then look straight at me, make no secret that they're looking at me, and I don't want to just look back at them and like ignore them or something, and then I smile and then they'd smile back and then just walk away really quickly, and then I don't know who felt more awkward, me or the person that was caught looking at me. I don't know. And while I was in the mall, I was looking at different places I could possibly do this. There are one or two more locations, but not too many I'm eager to try, so I need to look for a few more places because I do want to do a bunch more of these videos. Since the McDonald's doesn't shake and move a lot, I decided to whip out the eyeliner, which was not the best idea because this eyeliner, I finally have to admit, is going dry. It is time to throw it away. I dipped it way too many times. Now I do have another eyeliner, but I don't like it, so I didn't want to throw this one away yet. But there's no more denying it now. And if you don't believe me, I even counted. And this is just for the one side. For lips, I'm using this warm toned neutral type of color. I am in love with it. It's so moisturizing. It's by Essence and it smells good too. It doesn't last all day long, however it doesn't wear off bad. Like, I know the LA Girl lipsticks I have, they wear off during the day and they get flaky or they show the cracks on your lips and it's terrible. Where this one, when it wears off, you don't really see it. So I'm quite a fan of this one. But because I wanted a little bit of dimension and a little bit of lightness in the middle, I applied this next one over it and the combination actually works quite well. That's because the liquid lipstick dries down a lot more and it's on the part of my lips the lipstick comes off first, so it kind of prevents it from coming off too fast. Oh, and what I was saying earlier is one place I really want to do this is in the car, but I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to do that because I'll have to have someone else that's driving. We'll have to be driving long enough in distance. I'll have to have something to hold my camera up and somewhere to put all my makeup. So it's not necessarily the best idea, but that I really want to do. And there's one or two other places I can still think of, but I feel like I'd have to ask permission for some of the places, and I'm probably not going to do that because then I'd have to talk to someone, explain to them what I want to do, convince them it's a good idea, and then get them to let me do it. So we shall see how many of these I actually end up doing. For mascara, I'm using the smallest one I have, this Essence one, because it actually fit into the box. I'm applying a lot onto my lashes to get them as full as possible. The first time I did this look, I did it with false eyelashes, so they were popping a lot more, and I love false lashes a little bit too much. And then at this point, I finally called it quits and packed everything up, and then I realized I have to turn off my camera without people realizing what I'm doing. Which I don't know why that part gets to me because people were watching me doing my makeup. That I can deal with. But the part where I have to turn off my camera, I feel so awkward. So I've been kind of stalling everything, packing everything up until I realized eventually, finally, yes, I have to put off my camera. I hope you enjoyed me doing my makeup where you're supposed to be eating, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye!